Hurry up.
Do you not have like an
Will you
intro
hurry up?
to
No,
it, though?
no.
You're not like, hey guys, welcome back.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, welcome back, guys.
Yeah, I'm no prick
Welcome
right now.
back.
Yeah, I'm no prick. I don't fucking do that. I don't need to be like, hey guys, this is Dave.
Why not?
Because I
Then
don't need.
people would know.
No, that's not
And
the
it'd
point.
be a good segue.
Do you introduce yourself and have an intro every time you have a conversation with somebody?
Sometimes.
I don't do that.
I'm going to.
I don't want to do that.
I'm going to next time I come in your room.
Oh, well, I don't want you to do that. It's going to hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
advance.
But anyway, I don't know. So I'm here with Kara. Kara works with me at the shop. She's another tattoo artist. She's pretty cool. She makes really, really interesting anime tattoos. She's a little bland in person, though.
A little bit.
No, that's not true. That's not true. She's actually one of the only people that I've ever heard could go through like an apprenticeship under Jason, because she's the only one. She's like, because she's a unicorn, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, she is the Highlander of Jason Apprentices.
Yeah.
But like at the beginning, before there were other Highlanders.
So does that mean if he gets another one, I'm going to have to like fight them?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I think that should be the law.
You have to duel the other one.
You have to do something, whether it's a breakdance fight or some kind of like jujitsu battle.
I think the like,
A dance battle?
yeah,
I'm down for the dance battle.
mixed with like Naruto fighting style.
I don't know about the Naruto fighting
Get some
style.
kunais and just like
Whoa.
be fun.
Wait, so go into this. I don't know anything about Naruto. You two guys know a
To
lot.
the death.
Like,
Fight to the death.
I'm like kind of wearing a Naruto shirt at the moment.
Oh, episode 3
I know it drops at midnight.
At midnight.
I'm super excited. Actually, if I'm here, I will be here because it's like 11:30. So we'll probably talk about.
Hey! You don't know when this is going to be released, okay? It could be any time for anybody. I'm just fucking around.
Okay,
well, just
right now.
It's for these new anime T-shirts for this guy. I think it's like
It's
Mike
Mike Indazzo
art.
But I don't
on
think that's his
Insta.
real last name.
On Insta.
That
And
could
he
be
does
wrong.
like limited release like anime T-shirts that are super tight, which Kara is wearing one of them.
Why don't you go onto the computer there, Taneezy, and look that up. I think you have to hit that function F11 again, to where you get your little borders back, and then you can operate it like a regular computer. But yeah,
Does he have a website?
I don't know, but you can go to Instagram too, and you can find people on Instagram. So, how long have you been tattooing now?
I think I just hit 4 years.
Oh shit, you're like an old lady.
Yeah. I
That's-
don't feel like a baby anymore.
Yeah, that's Tane. Tane's a little baby. Tanezy is on the ones and twos of the podcast stuff. He's doing the producer nonsense. And, oh, wow, there's all of my Instagram stuff is up there. He is already done one tattoo at the shop and is getting ready to do his second.
Huh?
It's E-N.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh, man.
It's on my
Oh,
shirt.
man.
Hold on.
So, for everybody who's just listening, we're trying to find this guy's Instagram.
Wait. Take off one of the E's.
Take off one of the E's, bro. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Tane, you'll get better at this. Don't worry. I believe in you.
And then N.
So we're in the new podcast studio, so it's we're still working out a lot of the kinks, but it's set up pretty cool. It looks and feels pretty nice. Oh, okay. So here we go.
Yeah.
So we got this guy's stuff.
I think this is one of his T-shirt designs.
Yeah, that's.
Well, yeah. Okay. So
the
scroll
series
back
3.
up to the top for me, Tane, just so we can show everybody his Instagram.
Shout out to Mike.
So, shout out to Mike. So it's Mike Indazzo's art, and that's MikeNDAZZOART. Yeah, on Instagram. Super dope. Very, very anime inspired tattooing. And yeah, shout out to Mike from Orlando, Florida. You guys should check him out. If you guys are just listening, you guys can go hit up his stuff and see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But he's got a bunch of really interesting stuff.
Makes really cool shirts.
Yeah, well, the shirt that you're wearing is almost exactly like the tattoo that you did on Tane.
Yeah.
It's pretty gangster. And his tattoos are pretty fucking fantastic.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that this podcast is going to be very anime-centric because I have two of the biggest fucking anime nerds I know in the room.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, yeah, proud virgins.
Oh god, that's so great. Alright, let's go back to Google.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, it's pretty cool. I love that that's like something that people can kind of like dive into, because I did a lot of cartoon tattoos when I was first getting started in tattooing, but you know, it was all fucking Looney Tunes and shit like that. Nothing really as exciting. And then with Japanese art already inspiring and influencing tattoo so heavily, it like makes sense that anime is taking over a lot of like, I don't know, that whole color pop and punch, almost neo-traditional kind of feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a lot of it's set up the same way. Like when I design a piece, I'm setting it up the same way I would like a neo-traditional piece. Like it should be considered neo-traditional.
Well, it's got all the elements, all the line work, everything is there, so it makes sense. But I mean, I just think it's you know, another cool thing of fandom. It fits into that whole cosplay anime, you know, going to even like the Comic-Cons and things like that. There's like representation there. Like you even do like an event now.
Yeah, Anime Inc. It was
shit.
yeah.
We're not pulling them up. Fuck you.
No, but it is
to
a really fun theme.
And I went to the first, was it the first Dragon Ball Z convention?
Kamea-Con.
Kamea-Con. And it was the first year, and they didn't have any tattooers, but a word of mouth. Like there was.
Yeah, this year I guess
I think
they did.
this year they had a few tattoo artists there.
I did not do that one.
Yeah, Tane's being bashful. He won't turn his camera on. He has full control of it.
You mean like that?
Yeah, you'd have to do that, but you'd have to turn put the camera up on the computer.
Oh, well, how do I do that?
It's on my face right now.
Yeah.
Look,
this.
No. Yeah, that one. Like I said, we're new in the studio. Tane's still figuring stuff out. So in that search bar in the left-hand corner, you're gonna type camera.
Oh, in the left. All right.
Oh shit, he's doing stuff. He's gonna show you things, people. But anyways, in the meantime, yeah, me and you, we just did Dallas together. We saw a bunch of fancy people there. You won a bunch of awards.
I won 2.
Well, that's still a bunch. That's
How much is a bunch?
It's 200% more than I won.
Okay, well,
Is it the
yeah.
Cyberlink?
Just, yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
That's the only one popping up.
Yeah, Tane, that's the only one. Let's see if there's a good beauty shot. We're going to see how Tane's going to pop up on here. Oh, man.
It's probably going to look horrible.
You don't even know what it's going to look like. You actually have more camera angles than we do, because you have a camera angle on that computer, and you actually have the other camera angle that's hopefully going to pull up in a second. But we did all of... You got to make that full screen on there, buddy.
Let's go.
Oh, let's go. But yeah, so we did the Dallas show and had a really good time there.
Just closed it, apparently.
Good. No, you didn't. You minimized it. It's down there.
Oh, there we go.
So you make it full screen.
I'm getting there.
You got to click the thing on the other corner.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah. Oh, look at him. I'm going to show all you people how sexy Tane is.
I need to trim my facial hair. Jeez.
Look at that. Look at this sexy beast right here. Damn, multi-camera setup.
Yeah.
We're rocking it right now. So Tane, so like
It's
now...
the Twilight Zone. I can see like...
All
like,
things.
It's like going through, like 3 different screens.
Yeah, so Tane's sitting back there in the cockpit of the room with all of the gadgets and gadgets in front of him, trying to operate everything. And yeah, so that's the little bit of the tour that we'll give you. But yeah, so we had Dallas. We have dealt with being at the shop and working together. That's been fun. You're like my tattoo niece. We decided.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So
fantastic.
that makes me and Tane like cousins.
Yeah.
Tattoo cousins.
Why is that showing on the TV?
Because I switched the cable. You can't whisper into a microphone, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
It
doesn't work that way, especially in this quiet ass room.
Hey, I want to tell you a secret.
ASMR.
Oh. No, people don't like that shit.
I do.
Ooh.
I watch ASMR videos all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah. And
So what's the
mukbangs.
fatuation? Explain it to me.
I don't know. It's certain things. I like some of it just gets on my nerves.
like
but
somebody like eating mangoes or something.
yeah. No, I watch the ones. It's like slime, and they're like putting like things in the slime. I don't know how to explain it. But it just is like a sticky sound.
Like cornstarch.
And I like the nail tapping ones. But I like to watch people eat food as well.
Really?
Yeah. And then like I eat with them, so it's like
I
I'm
watch
having
cooking
dinner.
shows
So you're like
and eat
having
food. Is
dinner
that the
with
difference?
no one?
Yeah.
But watching.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Not really. It's entertaining. People will watch anything.
I mean, not anything though.
They're gonna watch this.
Maybe you know what? More than likely, just because it's shitty enough, people will watch it.
Maybe.
People will watch it just
Just
because it's shitty enough. It's like I don't want to be super pretentious with the whole thing. Like it's obvious like that things could be better, but you know, I like fake it till you make it. Yeah, it was a pretty good policy.
I've had that motto for a while now.
You know, but it's working now.
Is it like if it becomes too structured, it's not fun type of thing?
It's like it's my fucking hobby. So if this is like not really like the way that I want to do it, then what's the point in me doing it? Like, and I also think that it's cool that this place is set up in such a way that people can come in here and if they wanted to make something, they can make something, you know, on their own and do something.
I'm gonna come make ASMR videos.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
You can do whatever you want. I want to do like a board game thing because I can put cameras on the ceiling. I can do all kinds of stuff. The other cool thing is like, let's say you guys get crazy and you're like, we want to do a podcast and you want like, we want it to be teal and pink. All of these things just come off the wall. So you guys can just buy your own foamies and cover the wall with whatever you want and just switch them out.
Crazy.
You're all crazy. It's not that crazy. You're just
It's so crazy.
You're so full of shit. Your enthusiasm is so like thick. I can tell. You're so into it. So tell me about like some of the things that you're into. Like obviously I'm into podcasting and I have too many hobbies. You buy a lot of dead things.
I do. I like taxidermy and like oddities. So like half my house, we've talked about this, half my house is done in weird dead things and the other is just like a lot of anime art. And I have 2 modes.
Yeah.
Two modes.
It's like a child thing and a morbid obsession with death and the beauty of death.
I just really appreciate the different animals, and you don't get to see and handle, you know, that kind of stuff every day. So
well, it is true, and I mean, like I get infatuated just with like the fact that like the shit's inside of stuff all the time when it's walking around, and you're like, it looks so cool. And it's covered up the whole time it's alive. Like the only way you can see this stuff is if you destroy something. Yeah, and it's like really beautiful organic structures and shit.
And I mean,
that.
I don't get stuff from sellers. At least I hope not. Without my knowledge, I don't know about it. But I try to make sure I buy from people who are like ethically sourcing these things and not just like.
It's like, hey,
going
I'm
out,
shoot this animal.
Yeah,
so that she can get
I'm like,
the
some of my
bones
stuff has paperwork, so it's like legit.
Too legit.
But Texas is really weird with their laws, so don't need paperwork for most stuff.
Texas is kind of like we don't really have a lot of laws.
No, and nothing.
We can.
Except some
like,
things.
You want tiger? You got tiger.
Well, it's just like you can have any exotic animal you want. Like they don't want you to have songbirds. Like I can't have a corvid.
But that's migratory bird act. That's
There was
like
a place-
Yeah,
US.
but what I'm saying is like there is nothing about corvids that make them migratory. They're also not songbirds. They're also the most like prolific species of bird in all of the world. So like, why can't I have one? God damn it!
I don't make the rules.
It seems like you do,
I
white
don't.
lady.
I don't.
Fucking white people.
Okay,
No.
listen.
What if I could? I wish I could have a harpy eagle. That'd be pretty dope.
Harpy eagles eat monkeys.
People. They could eat little people, like babies, probably.
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 Yeah, probably. They probably could eat.
They're like giant birds.
They are. They're huge. They look like living phoenixes, but they're gray. They're all like dusty. I think that's why we actually look up into the trees. Like that's one of the things they talk about, like with human instinct, is like we always are kind of like looking up into the trees whenever we walk into a forest. It has to do with like large predatory birds.
I mean, I just thought that was like a normal thing, like because we are looking out for whatever may be in the trees. Yes.
ASMR.
What you love that thing, huh?
Tap, 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 tap.
It's pretty good. I don't know. But I don't know, of all the things to have, I don't know if I'd have a harpies eagle. I don't know that I'd want any large predatory bird at this point.
Falcon.
I mean, you could have all kinds of falcons
What
or
about large
owls.
predators, period?
I don't know, man.
You don't think you could live with a murderer?
I don't like cats. Cats are murderers. Cats murder more than any other household pet.
I don't think I could have a large animal like that. Just
I don't have animals, so
You have dead animals.
I have dead ones,
I'd
but I
feel
mean,
bad
like I don't have to take care of
having
those
it locked
animals.
up in like a small area.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, I get it. That it's interesting, like, to have that big of a creature and it's majestic and yada yada yada. But I don't know. That seems like you're kind of asking for trouble. Like, if you can like have a chimpanzee bite your face off, imagine like what like I have a domesticated snow leopard.
Technically, a dog can bite your face off.
Right, and they have, and they do.
Yeah,
And they
so,
probably still will in the
so,
future.
Anything you technically like try to make as pets, can
Right,
one day.
You're just proving my point even
Yeah.
more so. So, like, if a dog or a little cat can scar you for life or fuck you up like it did to Nick Fury, like, what do you think? Like,
I don't
a
know.
Bengal tiger is gonna do to you?
I don't.
Murder.
I've never had that. Like, I want to get a tiger.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'm
never.
not accusing you of this at all.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I'm just
like,
trying to convince the people that it's a dumb
the
idea.
Okay, guys, so
idea.
just don't get tigers.
Listen,
The idea
PSA.
PSA.
sounds nice, but then to actually implement it would be like terrible.
I know they look fuzzy, and they look so cuddly. But leave the giant animals alone. We should leave the rest of Earth alone. In a lot of
Yeah.
ways, like, we keep fucking shit up more and more and more and more. But I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm just as wasteful. Maybe we're just cancer. Maybe
We're
it's...
parasites.
I mean, maybe that's...
We're, like, the worst
Why do you think we don't get along with our environment?
because we're not supposed to be here.
We're not supposed to be here?
Aliens.
Because we're aliens. We're half monkeys. We're like genetically altered by the Anunnaki.
Have you ever seen
Yeah.
that show, The Zoo?
No,
Like how like animals evolve and start murdering people?
no, I
Like
haven't.
Planet of the Apes.
I haven't
It's
seen this
kind
at
of
all.
like Planet of the Apes, but it's like some company put chemicals and like pesticides and foods and stuff, and all the animals started to like mutate, and they became like a singularity kind of like they're all like working together
Like
to
hive
murder.
mind
Yeah,
type shit.
Yeah.
No, I have not watched that. Sounds
Like-
interesting.
like bats taking out like cell phone towers and like it's
I mean,
crazy.
That could
Like
happen.
lions murdering people on safaris and
If you're gonna keep going on these long rants, you better put your camera back on, and you better start switching to your
Need to
camera,
see
because
it.
we can only switch between these two automatically. Okay?
okay.
You smelly little yogurt fart. Look, just switch to your camera, you savage. Tane's from.
And then he won't talk for a while.
Yeah, look, right now he won't talk.
No, it's just
He doesn't want to look at himself.
Reaching behind me to turn it on.
Well, but that's the whole point. Nobody can see you reach right now, so it doesn't matter.
I can see him.
You can see him.
Now you can see me, haters.
Yeah, haters. Haters, welcome.
All kinds of haterade in this room.
So I don't know about like all of the nonsense that happened at Area 51, but I'm really
Is it still happening?
no. The 1,500 people showed up.
That's it?
4 million people said that they were going to go. 2 million people said that they were definitely going. and then 1,500 people showed up. So that shows us like the bot ratio on Facebook. I all I'm saying is like when do I get to see the aliens and get proof? Like I don't care about everybody else.
I mean,
You just wanted to see the fruits of their labor, like if they actually stormed the gates and got the information, found the aliens.
Maybe we were looking for aliens and information. I want to see, like, hey, this is how we're going to get to the stars. This is why shit's so crazy. This is why they're going to give us, like, chips in our brains because we're getting too smart. I want to know all this stuff because for right now, it just seems like science fiction.
I don't think we'll be the ones that they tell.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not? You don't think, like, it's all going to fall apart? Like, Trump is being impeached. Like, they released a formal impeachment inquiry. Like, Nancy Pelosi went up on stage and was like, hey, yada, yada, yada. He asked the Ukrainian president to do some shit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. I
don't remember the exact details.
I haven't read
saw
anything
that.
lately about it. But I also am shitty human and don't know about it. Yes.
No more ASMR. I'm not going to do it. You can't make me. But I don't know. I think like if Elon Musk is a real human being, I'm going to be really disappointed. I think he has to be an alien.
What if he's just like the next step in the evolutionary chain?
Well, then nobody...
What if he's an alien trying to get back home?
That's what I'm saying. So like
that's why
he's Area 51 secret.
If you think about it, like that makes perfect sense, right? In a stupid, shitty B movie kind of way, it does. It makes sense because he's so intelligent that he was like, I'm going to invent this thing and I'm going to invent PayPal and then we're eventually going to get to electric cars and now I'm going to build rockets because I want to get the fuck off this planet. Everybody cares about the Kardashians. What the fuck? What does her ask for? I don't know. They didn't tell us that. I've got to go. And so he's just been trying to build rocks and then he's like, shit, he's like, I don't know. I keep sending these rockets into outer space. Hopefully somebody will notice that I'm here just in case they're not nice. I'm going to dig a bunch of holes under LA.
But
he's got that boring project. Huh?
Is it a family of aliens? Isn't his brother like super smart
His
too?
brother's doing stuff with food. His brother's, I think, given up and been like, well, fuck it. If we got to make it home, make it home. You know what I mean? Because he's like showing people how to create a bunch of delicious foods inside shipping containers and do all kinds of shit like that. And show.
Oh, he's doing the veggies, right?
Oh, how dare I?
Like community gardens and stuff.
Yeah, he's doing all the stuff that's basically he's showing like people how to build these containers, these shipping containers into like fruitful farms that produce like acreages worth of food, and then he's doing this microclimate thing for individuals' backyards to where he's like, hey, it's like if this is where you live, these are foods that are like well-rounded to give you a well-rounded diet that you can grow in your area that are non-impactful and that will work with your normal environment and shit like that. And they're like, wow, your parents should have had like 100 of you. Like, well, why didn't they? We'd be fine.
Because they went back to their home planet.
Because they don't have belly buttons.
Was it like Superman? They like send him to Earth to save the planet?
No, it's just like that one Kyle XY or whatever. Fucking that shitty show. I never watched it, but I know about it because I know the whole gimmick was he didn't have.
Thing?
No, Kyle XY
What
was like some kid who didn't have a belly button who was supposed to be like genetically engineered.
I mean, technically, that's what would happen because a belly button's just like a scar.
Well, I mean, you don't know that like even when they genetically engineer us, maybe they give us a.
Maybe they have an umbilical cord, like a fake one.
That's how we're connected to the amniotic sac, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're probably still inside, like, the yolk of the egg. So we still got to have that little...
Maybe.
Well, that's how the little baby ducks get
Unless it was like
all the juices from the whites of the egg.
So it was like
It's true. All the little babies inside eggs, the way they get to the white of the egg is that umbilical cord goes to the membrane of the yolk, I believe. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. I'm sure you will anyways. It doesn't matter.
That's not how that works.
You're like, oh, you're so stupid. You're such a dumb idiot. Like, yeah, I know. And you listened. It's not my fault.
Uh-huh.
So if you could pick, what kind of aliens would you want to see?
Either like super nice ones or super mean ones. Like
No middle ground.
no middle ground. I either want things to go really well and like we do get to like build upon like our knowledge and they help improve us, or they just like destroy the fucking planet and like
You're like, blink. Oh, we're done now.
Like, I mean,
Would you fight back? No.
I wouldn't. I mean, what am I gonna do?
No Cowboys versus aliens
No.
kind of shit. Did you ever watch that movie?
No, but it just sounds like Texas versus
Wasn't bad.
aliens.
I
It was
watched
actually a
It was
pretty
actually
good movie. It was
good,
very
yeah.
interesting.
I liked it better than that other alien one where they like go. The dude like ends up on Mars like through a portal, or something.
I don't know that one.
You're talking about Doom?
No.
Because that's Doom.
There's one where he's like in the Midwest and he's like ex like Union soldier, and then he ends
Tremors.
up. And then
Ooh, the great movie. Not aliens, but good.
Technically, aren't they
it was a
aliens?
Disney
I don't think
movie.
they're
I think
aliens.
they're aliens.
And they had like the aliens.
We're gonna argue about
with,
this
like,
in
the
just a second.
crazy, like green aliens. They were like big and they had like 4 arms.
No.
No.
Mm-mm. Back to Tremors.
What?
John Carter.
John Carter?
Oh.
Oh, no. I didn't watch that.
No, I didn't either.
Oh.
You
Graboid.
watch all the movies we know.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen Tremors, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Graboids are from the planet Earth.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like hundreds of thousands or millions of
just,
years
like,
old. They
Little
just
creature.
hang out in that area apparently. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Tell
Ooh,
me I'm
or
wrong.
like the aliens in Evolution,
Oh,
which
God.
is great.
Oh God.
And
Yeah, those
they-
are pretty good.
Didn't
Those
they
are
like kill
great.
him with like hair shampoo?
Yeah,
or
with
something?
Head and Shoulders.
Because
Like
of the zinc or
something-
something
yeah.
like that.
Oh man.
So they just start like.
That was
spraying
like that
everywhere.
Ernest movie where they kill that thing with milk. I was just like, Ernest
Oh, Ernest. Oh my
The
God.
Ernest
All the Ernest
goes
goes to
movies.
something.
To where goes to Mars.
Spooky Town. No, it was something scary. It was like some kind of creature, some kind of thing.
I
That
don't
lived
remember
under
a lot of
tree.
the Ernest movies. I remember the one where he like became an NBA star.
I just know like Ernest goes to prison. Like,
Oh,
that's,
God.
that's
That's the thing.
or like the Christmas.
Ernest Christmas.
How did we get on Ernest?
I don't know. We started talking about
Shitty movies.
shitty movies.
Who brought it up?
I don't know.
Probably me.
I mean, no, I'm pretty sure I totally brought that Ernest up. I will take full credit for that. I don't know. Like there are so I think it's gonna be like that Arrival movie. I think or
Oh, yeah.
whichever one's with the
That one's
tentacles.
good.
Is
Yeah.
that the one with the
Arrival.
tentacles?
Yeah.
Yeah, the crazy
I don't know.
cephalopod
There's
creatures.
a lot of them. That could
Arrivals-
be like the Mist,
Yeah.
or there's a Void, which is like that. Watched a
Maybe
lot
it's
of-
like Hellboy. I wish it was like Hellboy.
What do you
Come
mean,
on,
where
the-
you
That
get-
was
what
like
do you-
more
like
interdimensional, wasn't
demons?
The
it?
Ogdu Jihad, they're in space.
I don't know.
They're in space. They gotta be in space.
Oh, wasn't there like a point in that movie where they're in space, or was that?
They're in a
different
crystal in
dimension?
space. I think that like the portal that you're thinking of is like the portal that they're like shooting through space, maybe. But I don't know. I just want it to be like Hellboy. Is all I'm saying.
I don't know. I like the second Hellboy better.
Well, yeah,
Personally.
but I like both of them. It's like Harry Potter. You get to have your cake and eat it too.
No, like
There's magic and fairies,
okay,
right?
yeah, but
But you get to have a cell phone.
second Harry Potter is nobody's.
No, I'm not
favorite.
talking about Harry Potter in the second or the sequel kind of sense. I'm talking about it in like the
Yeah,
Lord of the
there's-
Rings to Harry Potter argument. I always will pick Harry Potter because you can have PlayStation and magic.
Yeah, but they don't even know what a PlayStation is.
Harry does.
Harry has been living under stairs for
He
11 years.
He has a shitty. He has a shitty. He has
never
a
knew
shitty
what
cousin.
PlayStation
He has a
was.
shitty cousin with a computer game. He even talks about it.
But I don't think he ever got to play with it.
No, he went in there and fucked with it. I remember.
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't no PlayStation.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. She couldn't have said that. But that's what I'm getting to is that
No.
you can still have technology and do
Yes.
magic.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the Lord of the Ring days, you would die from diarrhea.
But there's wizards. And
Yes.
they do really cool stuff.
Like Dumbledore?
I mean, I don't know. You don't really see Dumbledore do a ton of magic.
Yeah, but when he does. Just like you
He
don't see
turns-
again. Well, that and he kicks fucking Voldemort's ass. He who shall not be named, sorry.
You talked about him. We are Team Voldemort.
Wait, don't say that. Are you sure?
Voldemort.
We are Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. Well, we're going to be Team Voldemort then.
Yeah, that's an obscure Office reference. That's a deep cut. Me and Kara are extremely,
Dedicated Office fans.
yeah, I
Wait,
love it.
did
I've
you
seen
see-
all of it so many times.
Did you see Caleb's client last night?
I don't know. I might have.
Oh,
Why?
were you? No, you guys left for dinner.
Oh, yeah. I went to dinner.
But-
dinner.
Make that full screen.
Caleb's client actually looks like Dwight.
Really?
Like, so like
Shout out to Rainn Wilson.
looks exactly
Ooh,
like.
damn.
Damn.
She even knows their names and shit. It's crazy.
It is so crazy. I was like,
I've been to Scranton.
and we were
so-
talking about him like,
Oh,
hey,
fuck you. I've been to Scranton too. Did you go to the gift store in the fucking coffee
Yeah.
shop? Okay.
Well, it's in Cooper Seafood.
Or Cooper
place.
Seafood.
And
That's that
yes,
one.
it did.
Not the coffee shop. That's the other one that I'm
I
thinking
even
of.
left my
The
debit
Friends.
card there.
Yeah, just to do it.
No, like I accidentally left my debit card there and then had to go back again because we got to the pub, Poor Richard's, and I was like, oh, I need my ID and like my debit card, and so I was getting them on my purse.
the pub.
Fuck.
And boom.
So we had to go back.
No debit card. Did you buy more stuff?
I did.
Yeah,
It
of
was
course
bad.
you did.
Really, that was how I justified that.
That's how you justified your life.
Yeah, I bought a lot of stupid office stuff that, like, probably did not need.
Did they give
and
you like a little? Can you buy like a little sheet of paper?
You can actually. It's like a pack of like 10 or so different designs on like. You can get like Dunder Mifflin letterheads and like the the facts that Jim sends and
Yeah.
it's like on today someone poisoned the
Oh,
coffee.
God.
Like you can
Yeah,
get
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
Stanley, no.
like it looks like, and some of the stuff is like really like shitty, but like I had to buy it just 'cause,
Right.
like where are you gonna get that? But it looked like someone had like taken the original and just made lots and lots of copies and then sold like the 10th copy, and so it was kind of bad, but I still loved it.
And then Netflix is taking it off because they want money.
Yeah, well, I'll just buy it and
Yep.
be like, well, there's
Just
that.
get the DVD.
I mean,
set.
me and you together, we can kind of quote the whole thing and
Yeah.
act it out.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
who
It'd be
needs to
fine.
see the
It'd
real
be
thing?
fine.
We'll just
It'd be
like,
fine.
we'll be fine.
I think it'd be good. I just like when people fuck with Dwight. That's mostly my
Yeah.
favorite. It's really
Who's your
what it
favorite
is.
character?
I don't know. That's a difficult thing. Like, who makes me? I mean, Dwight is my favorite character.
Yeah.
Like to see things happen to, but like it's my favorite person. Like, God damn it. I really like Oscar.
Really?
I just like I just like the predicaments that he always gets put into, and that like it's always stereotypical Mexican
Yeah.
or gay. But I mean, like Michael Scott is my favorite character. Like
Yeah.
that's like how it is. But I'm trying to think of people that like also are I mean, I love everybody on the show,
I
but
love everybody equally,
yeah, but
except Toby.
fuck Toby.
Fuck Toby.
If I had 3 bullets and I was in a room with Hitler, Osama bin Laden, and Toby, I'd shoot Toby twice.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I really like Stanley.
Stanley's pretty great.
Shove it up your butt.
It's hentai.
like-
It's art.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not hentai. Stanley.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a Freudian slip. That was a Freudian slip.
I'll clarify that.
That was pretty good. I don't know. That, who else? Kelly's a bit much for me, but maybe, I don't know. Aaron kind of gets on my nerves.
God.
Andy gets on my nerves.
Yes, and then like Nelly. Like,
Yeah,
Nelly
no.
should have been brought into the...
No. Meredith. I love Meredith. I love Meredith. Kevin's probably like one of my top favorite characters, just because he's like, he is really kind of slowish, but he's also kind of smart sometimes, and he's got that gambling streak, and then like you see a little bit of real Kevin peek out every once in a while, and you're like, oh shit, that guy's kind of scary.
Yeah, really like Creed.
Yeah.
Creed Bratton.
That's cannabis, Northern Lights cannabis indica. No, it's not, Creed. It's marijuana.
No.
He's like, there's been a murder. I've got to get something out of my car. I'll be right back. Oh, shit. Yeah, Creed's a murderer.
Yeah, because he shows up one Halloween episode and his shirt's covered in blood, and he's like, I didn't know it was Halloween today.
Oh, my God.
He's like,
good thing.
That's convenient. Yeah, Halloween. Right.
You're just like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah. And he's always like, I love it when they like go to the club and they call him like Papa Smurf or some shit like that. He goes out to the club and there's a bunch of young people and they all come up to him and they all slap him.
He makes the fake IDs.
He makes the fake IDs and he sells drugs. It's so good.
He's just a great human.
He's just a crummy old man. Yeah. And I like all of the things that little Michael gets himself into.
Except Scott Tots. That is the one episode that I have to just like...
It's too cringy
Oh,
for
it's
you.
so bad. So bad. Like, can't do it.
You're too empathetic. It feels too much
No,
for his...
I'm just like, how can you be that stupid? Like, how? And then they start
when
singing.
your name's Michael
Hey,
Scott.
Mr. Scott, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I don't know. There's a lot of cringeworthy kind of moments in that.
Yeah.
It's
The whole point of his character.
yeah, yes and no. I don't know. There's a part of him that just makes me feel like a child that I'm just like, hooray.
It's because he acts like a child.
Yeah, he also will eat like a whole German chocolate cake.
I declare bankruptcy. Michael, it doesn't work like that. Just because you yell it out. And he runs away to the train.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to run away.
I'm going to run away. Oh, man. Yeah, I just, when he pretends about going to the joint. It's one of the greatest things
ever. The worst thing about prison was the Dementors.
Oh, God.
Michael, there was no Dementors. Oh, fuck.
You mean like in Harry Potter?
Craig.
Craig.
Warehouse Craig.
Oh,
What's
Daryl.
Daryl. There you go.
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson. There you go.
It's like,
Dare.
it's Dare. I was like Craig.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name.
I was trying to think of who's the other warehouse person.
Oh, Patrice O'Neill. I don't remember his name. He died.
Oh.
Michael, we gotta clean all this shit up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, exactly. The other big black guy.
Did he die?
Yeah,
That's
Patrice
sad.
O'Neill passed away.
But Roy was also.
Roy.
Fuck
Yeah.
Roy.
Fuck Roy.
He didn't get his shit together, and then like he did, and it made Pam feel really bad. But that just goes to show you that people change when they want to.
Exactly.
Stupid fucking Roy.
How many Roys are out there?
All of them.
Everybody's kind of a little bit of a Roy.
Everyone has a little Roy in them.
Everybody's got a... Ooh.
Ew.
Ew. I don't know. I love the fact that Dwight and I don't know, he got to be manager. I hate that Andy was manager.
God, it was so bad.
but Robert California is amazing.
Yeah.
I liked his other movie, The Blacklist.
I'd
It was
like
after
to make
that.
a toast to
Huh?
Mr. Robert California.
Mr. Robert California. What a fucking name. He had a hot wife. It's okay.
That he wouldn't let work with him.
He's like, Andy, under no circumstances should you let that happen.
I felt
He's like-
so bad for Andy though,
In that
because you're like, what do
situation.
you do?
Yeah. He's like, Andy, I'm the CEO of this company. My wife wants to work here. Are you saying there's nothing you can do? And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to
So
do
they
in this situation.
She left him like right after that,
Mm-hmm.
so you have to wonder if that was like the final
Yeah, I don't know.
thing.
I don't know.
Wasn't she like trying to like get him to take her out afterwards too?
Andy, yeah. She was like, we can go eat or something.
Like, what's
It was great.
What's up?
She just wanted a good stabbing.
Probably.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. It's aggressive sometimes, man.
Especially with knives.
Oh,
that kind of, okay.
Did you not get it? You didn't get it. You got it.
I got it.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. You were asking me about porn preferences the other day. I don't want to hear
No,
about
I did
this.
not.
Mhm.
What are you talking
Mhm,
about?
Exactly. You were telling me that things didn't what terminologies were for specific things. And I was like, I don't need to know all this.
That was earlier today.
Was that earlier
I
today?
think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
with Carlos and Caleb.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
God.
those two.
Right?
Eventually, I'll get those two hooligans in on here.
Oh my gosh.
There was a guy in my unit.
In
that
your
was-
unit?
Yeah, he was like,
Haven't ever.
Damn, she's
I'm-
just all up on her phone and
No,
shit
I
like
was
that.
checking the damn launch of
Ooh, excuse me.
merch.
oh yeah, it already started.
Yeah. Which
Oh.
we have until the 30th, so
Yeah, that's cool.
Are you gonna get some of that stuff?
probably.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Probably.
Hell
I got
yeah.
2 shirts from the last
Really? Like right away?
one. Well, not right now.
Oh, I
That's
don't know.
dope.
So how'd you end up starting to do like all the anime stuff?
It just kind of happened. It went from doing a lot of like smaller, minor characters, and then I got to do a lot like Studio Ghibli type pieces, and so that just kind of segued into getting to do more like pieces.
Like, okay, so you did a lot of Studio Ghibli stuff, but
Yeah,
like looking
and-
at like that in particular, like there you're just picking out characters and you're trying to find something that like works together with themes, and then like so like what's a little bit of your like process for composition? How do you decide like what's tattooable?
I mean, it's gotten to be a little bit more complex now, but I mean, of course, starting out, just finding a scene and then adding little things here and there that's different. That's kind of like one of the easier parts of the anime. Like it's not like super easy application wise, but I mean, a lot of your stuff is already there. Like,
Right,
These are
okay.
characters that people recognize them. They have a certain look to them. You can redraw them, but at the end of the day, it's a character that someone's already designed. So,
Mhm.
Now I try to work with like different color schemes and maybe changing up how they are colored, or making them a little bit more extreme colorizations, and then just adding like fun things that only people who watch the anime kind of know about, and they're like little Easter eggs, and everything when I'm designing a piece, every single piece in that goes with it. Nothing's just added just for funsies. Like it's all thought out kind of thing. And then I've been doing some like Tane's leg, where it has like the more realistic element to it. So.
That's fairly new though.
Yeah, like I haven't even gotten to tattoo another one like that, just because like
I really like that spike piece that you did before that with like the rose.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The sea space cowboy at the bottom. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's so good.
And I like adding elements that kind of look neon-ish and just, I don't know. I like working with color and texture and making things weird.
Do you feel like you've stuck to a particular palette? Like you've picked some key colors that you like to work with? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of thought process when it comes to coloring. Like, I'm usually trying to pick a balance of like warm and cool toned colors. So like in the pieces where there's a lot going on, like it makes a pattern if you actually like looked at it. Like it's like warm tone, cool tone, warm tone, and just throughout the piece it's laid out like that so that the eye has an easier time moving through it, and then it's always next to like big sections of like solid black, just so that the eye kind of rests there. It's thought out.
Yeah.
It's a weird thought process when you have to like talk about it out loud, but it's like,
well, no,
it's second nature in your head.
I think if you live in that world, though, like that makes a lot of sense, though. Like, you know, building a piece and having at least some kind of foundation and understanding of composition is always going to help your tattoos work out a little bit better. And then taking that knowledge and then pushing it to an extreme in some areas, whether it be your color palette or perspectives or shapes that are going to help push things, you know, using really angular backgrounds in softer areas to where like you have more curves will always push some of that stuff away from that. Always some kind of contrast. It's really interesting to see like the design elements. I'm interested to see you get into like, you know, doing more of the realistic stuff with the anime,
too.
like
And
outside of just not even just food. Like somebody wants to get like if there's a rose that's iconic in some kind of anime, and you do a realistic rose or something like that.
And stuff that's in the works. I'm being very selective on the designs that get to be done that way, just because I am not a realistic artist. So like,
kind of you are though.
I've done like a handful of things, so I wouldn't say that is like my, you know, bread and butter kind of thing. Like,
just throw out some fucking realistic roses or realistic somethings and just like bang out a bunch of those just to like walk in those shoes, and then, you know, you could try that.
Yeah.
You know, or you could tell me, hey, fuck off, I'm good.
Hey, fuck off.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do
good.
food, okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
But, you know, I have a bunch of ideas in my little notebook of like, this is what I want to do.
I think it's fun that way. That's
yeah,
cool.
because this is definitely more of a challenge to me, not necessarily something that like I want people, like I do want people to get more of, but you know, it's one of those things. That's why I did his, and was like, it took me a long time to even just like put that on paper, or on tablet, just because I had that idea for so long, and that was kind of my trial run of realism to see if I could do it.
That's such a good point, actually. Like, if you think about it in that sense, like the whole idea that, like, you know, anytime we start doing something new or trying to innovate, that there's always this time where we have to figure out the process and a way to package it as a product to our clients.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
like, responsibly, I don't want to be like, hey, I just started doing this type of tattooing, come in here and get tattooed by me, because it's going to take 13 hours for me to do this tattoo that, like, after I figure out this process and I'm not so freaked out, might take me 9.
I mean, because Tanya can tell you, I was a mess the entire process of that tattoo until we got like last 30 minutes where I was like, okay, I just have to add little white stuff here and there. Like,
yeah.
It was like smooth sailing, and then as soon as we got to like everything done, you just had the bowl.
Yeah.
And I was like watching you just freak out.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it's great though. Like, it's a really amazing tattoo. It's an award-winning tattoo. You know, it's a really, really well executed. It pulls off that effect really well.
Thanks.
And working in all of like those neutral brown kind of
That was
tones
hard.
are hard
And I mean, you
on a
were-
brown guy.
Yeah, I really like that you didn't put like a border around the background.
Mhm.
There's no line work. It's
Yeah.
just a hard edge. I like it.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot too.
Mhm.
I don't know. I like playing around with different stuff. Like each tattoo I do, I might throw in one new thing and just try it out, and then it kind of adds to the little like filing cabinet of like my brain.
Another tool belt.
Yeah.
Another tool for the tool
And
belt.
so I just pull it out, and a lot of times
Well,
it's a bunch mixed together.
And it's interesting because, like, you look at, like, the person that you learn from. You build tattoos in a very similar way to Jason, but not in a way where you're taking anything
Right.
away from him. Like, you're not stealing from him. You're like, okay, I see that this structure works, because it's really the basics. And you guys build tattoos as, like, pieces, one and done pieces that can be built into larger tattoos, but they're not. Like, I tend to leave a lot of open, like, area around the outside to kind of build another tattoo into it, whereas, like, you guys end up with these creative, like, borders that end up working with other tattoos.
stuff.
Yeah, like, Jason has got that crazy, splattery stuff. He
Yeah.
gets real mad if anybody does it. He's like, oh, don't you fucking touch that.
I feel like I have, with finding my style, I mean, other people do anime, but I like to think that I do something that's a little bit different. With anime, your character's already there, so it's our jobs to build upon that and make it something that nobody else has. But I've always had that kind of in the back of my mind with like being compared to Jason and constantly, trying I mean, our stuff's gonna look the same in certain areas just because like I learned from him. So our application of color and those technical skills, I mean, I hope they're the same because I learned from the guy. I want them to be just as good as him.
For everybody listening, we're talking about Jason Elliott. He's a schmuck. That's the word I was. No, he's
asshole.
He's my
love him.
he's my buddy. His Instagram is stupid. Jason Tattooer. But yeah, so that's the person that she learned from. That's her sensei. That's her Miyagi.
Oh, that makes him mad. Don't.
Sensei.
Her Pat Miata.
Sensei.
That's
Sensei.
in my phone. He's Jason Sensei, and like he's like, you're so fucking stupid.
Tell him he
Sifu?
yeah. You can call me your Sifu. Yeah, Tane is my apprentice. That's why he's on the ones and twos over there. That's
But
yeah, it's crazy, like seeing those similarities, but seeing like where your creativity and the way that you approach tattoos.
yeah, because I don't want them to look like I never want to like bite off of his.
Yeah, but it's like a kung fu school. It's
Yeah,
like you're in
it's
his school, and it's like, that's cool, that you do Wing Chun and they do kung fu, and you're like, yeah, like, but I don't do it like him. I could do it different.
But it's. I feel like it's easy for people who know us to like kind of see that like that we are different because you're getting to see like the daily stuff that we do and how it is different. But I've heard that a lot is like especially when we go to conventions, like a lot of times people say that we have the same style, and to me I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't feel like we have the same style at all, but I mean, I can see it in like certain.
It's more
aspects.
the influences of like composition.
Yeah,
I
but,
think,
I mean-
but like execution, like Jason does a lot of realism.
Yeah.
like he does a lot of realism. He does a lot of portraiture, more of like faces and things like that, which I think that people who don't experience the technical skill of putting a face on somebody look at an anime face and they look at a portrait and they're like, oh, it's same
Yeah.
same background. They got these cool backgrounds. You guys do the same thing, but that's just their level of experience.
Yeah. But
you
it
know?
also happened a lot when I was first doing conventions, and sometimes we wouldn't be together, and people would be like, come up to him and be like, "There's somebody here that's like doing."
That's like jacking your steel.
Yeah, and he's like, "No."
Oh, you mean like when you weren't part of Texas Inc.? You mean like then?
So like all the other conventions.
So like big news. Little Kara Clink Inc. Ooh, it's coined now. It's out in the universe. She is now a Texas Ink Mag Pro Team member. Texas Ink Mag is actually wised up. They wised up. They be listening and shit. Nah, I'm just joking. They're great. Raphael's doing things.
Yeah, I'm
But
excited.
it's gonna be good. I think that like for you and what you put out there and your unique style and like the personality that you give off when people just give a little bit of time to know you.
Time.
Well, it's like
Not a lot of time, but like, you know, I just.
any wild animal, you gotta warm up to. You know what I mean? You gotta let them. You gotta let them sniff the back of your hand and shit
No,
like that.
I just I'm a little shy.
RBF.
Yeah, I have RBF pretty bad.
No, I don't think so. But that's just because, like, I don't know. I've known you for too long.
You've
Probably,
known me.
yeah. I've known you for too long.
For people who don't know me, like I can, and that's just mainly because I'm just this.
Because she
ball
doesn't
of,
fucking like you and leave her alone. No.
I'm just like a big ball of anxiety most of the time. So like.
Yeah. At least you're not awkward. You went through medical school, so like you've done enough.
Oh, like around people, like around clients.
No, not around clients. You're not like awkward enough to where like
homeschool.
You're vapid. No, like to where you're vapid and you like don't have anything to say. It's just like you just get like I think you just get like balled up into this
a
like.
Little bit.
I don't want to fucking talk to you guys. I'm gonna have a heart attack by myself.
Yeah.
Okay, leave me alone.
I do that.
Yeah, so I think it's a little different. I think also there's weird transitions in this whole tattooing thing to where you get to a point to where like you start maybe seeing kind of the steps of like, hey, this is the circles and this is the inner circles, and you're like, hey, this is kind of crazy. I see that person over there and they're pretty crazy, because I still get that.
Yeah.
And I go to places and I'm like, wow, I can't go talk to that guy.
No, but that's how I feel about a lot of people, and it's like I don't know, like.
I'm slowly learning to treat them like people.
I mean, it's not that I'm gonna treat them not like people. I'm not gonna fangirl.
I have a podcast now, so I have to talk to them sometimes. So like, hopefully, I'll be okay. But like, I don't know. It's interesting that sheer talent will make you go, oh shit.
Yeah, but like, it's more so just like as a fact. Like, I don't want people to be in their head going, who the fuck is this and why is she talking to me?
No, it's okay. So like, any impression is an impression apparently.
Oh.
And that's what makes sense. It's true. It works.
It's scary.
You know, sometimes I'm the guy who will offer weed to people who don't smoke at a convention, just to be the guy that be like, that's the guy who's like, who gave me some weed, and try to offer. I wear a fanny pack, you know, so people are like, it's the guy with the fanny pack. So it's you just gotta make an impression and talk to people and treat them like humans apparently, and everything's okay.
It's not that I can't do that.
I know you can't.
I
know you can.
Also,
you can do all of that shit.
Just I don't know. I'm just in my head a lot.
Yeah, but I think that there's a lot of people who just have something like that, and
I just think it's like endearing and like.
I think it's endearing. I think it's super sweet. I think it's great that you're like, hey, so there's this like rapper of kind of like awkward silence. Once you get through that, it's pretty sweet. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hi, I'm shit.
But inside the shit, there's a warm nougaty center. So if you're into eating, but it's warm.
It's warm. Oh my god.
You're not shit. You're not trash people. Me and Jay Jerry were talking about being trash people. We kind of were. But that's such is life. Such is life. I don't know. So you're ready? You're gonna do more traveling. You're gonna have to. That's the whole idea.
I kind of have to, right?
Yeah,
now.
that's the whole idea. So
but I like it.
You got to be available for things. Well, what's nice is like, and that's the reason why, like, relocating to College Station was like such a cool thing for me, was that it's so centrally locaed to everything else.
That was one of the big reasons.
It's so easy to get everywhere, and then I think.
Well, at most it's like 3 hours to like. I mean, unless you're going to like Lubbock or Odessa or El Paso.
No, I'm not gonna go to El Paso. It's too far now. maybe like in stops along the way. Like stop in San Antonio and then stop in somewhere else. But yeah, I'm glad my mother doesn't listen to this thing, because I'm gonna get a motorcycle probably.
Oh.
But not for inside the city, because of all the college kids.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly from getting from here to like Dallas. So like that.
Strap your toolbox to the, or is just Tane gonna be behind you with the car?
He's gotta hold on to me with a big backpack. like a
You
Sherpa.
can get a
I'll just get a
sidecar.
duffel bag.
No
You
sidecars.
could get a sidecar.
No, I'm gonna get.
They even make them with little roofs.
No, I'm gonna get a little bags.
That's crazy.
They're just little bags that you put on there. And just have like minimal shit, so that I can have a good old time. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I'm not really big on like motorcycles. I won't let Jordan have one.
You won't.
No.
Is it because you were gonna become a nurse? Is it because they're like exploded brains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've been.
I don't worry that he wouldn't pay attention. I worry that other people aren't going to pay attention to him.
It's true. I've been in 3 motorcycle accidents, so yeah. And I don't even have a motorcycle now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. I hit a dog once.
Oh.
It was pretty
Poor dog.
gnarly. Yeah, I was going like 45 miles an hour too.
Oh no.
And it wrapped up inside the wheel and shot me off the bike pretty far. PETA, hold your questions. Okay, I was trying to get out of this dog's
PETA
way.
kills more animals a year anyways.
I know. I was just
Hi.
generalizing. Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Controversial.
They
You need like a like a soundboard.
how's that shit?
It's great.
You like that shit?
Oh.
No, there's one of those things like that, like PETA has like the biggest like euthanasia freezer storage like across the whole world or country or something of this nature. So they'll check it and tell me I'm wrong. Somebody will tell me I'm wrong.
We do not.
Nuh-uh. We
No.
just don't.
I used to be like a big fan of PETA when I was in high school because I was like rebellious teenager and I was like vegetarian. I couldn't.
More like
I could
vegetarian.
not. No. No.
It was a joke.
I ate vegetables. Thank you. No. But I had like the.
Like at the hospital? That's gross.
No. Shut up. No. So like in high school, I went on a big PETA kick, and like I ordered the packet, and like it came with all the stickers and the posters and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I remember.
And so I had posters of like
They came with like the little
dead
books.
chickens
Yeah.
and stuff, and like I used to tell my mom that we were gonna go protest like KFC, and
Oh
like
my gosh.
my mom, bless her, she was just like, "Okay, dear," like. Because she was like tired of my bullshit, but at the same time, if she had told me like not to do it, I would have done it even more.
Oh my god.
But now I'm just like, oh man, cringe.
That's
Like,
fucking hilarious. All the things we do when our
I
brains are made out of
know.
mush.
Like I would go back to being a vegetarian now, like, but not because of PETA, but just because like.
Well, but that's not what I'm talking about. Brains being a mush. I was talking about in high school, just our
No.
brains being mush. Being a vegetarian,
Yeah.
I did it for like I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks recently,
No.
and it was pretty good.
I see all the mushy brains walking around now.
Oh,
That's
God.
different.
They're in college.
What?
But
Those
they're like
people?
19.
Oh man.
20.
Yeah.
So the shop that we're in is like, of course, here in Texas A&M, and shout out to the Aggies, all of that. But just social experiment and whatnot, and looking at behavioral science and looking at like the development of the human brain and anthropology and whatnot is like you see 19-year-olds and you're like, wow, you have no concept of like worth, value, time, and then they come in droves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so fire.
it's a
I say fire all the time, and like I used to say
fire.
it ironically, and like now I catch myself saying it, and I'm like, fuck, why?
Well, that's acceptable for you. Like, luckily, I'm stuffed away in a dungeon
Yeah.
closet somewhere.
I kind of share the room
In the
so
shop.
I just entertain.
Well, at least you
everybody
don't have to be in Carlos's room. Carlos handles the bulk of that stuff, and being right there next to Essie, though, I do get a muffled filter of that stuff, though,
Yeah.
every once in a while, because I hear a lot of them. I don't understand how 15 people fit in her room. It's too many people, and that's 15 people for like 2 people getting pierced.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Piercers. I mean, they bring in a lot of business.
Mhm.
That girl's she's good at what she does. But yeah, I'm impressed with the patience of like the teachers at the
Yeah,
college
but
and the university.
I don't know. I didn't really get a chance to be like that, so
Me neither.
I'm just like, what does that feel like?
I was too busy working and doing drugs.
Well, I had kids, so
Yeah, exactly. Working and doing drugs.
might as well been, you know.
I didn't get to go to college.
I
Well,
mean, I didn't until my 20s. Like, I started like way.
you could go to college
You
though
could go
right now.
Yeah.
Government will pay for it.
Government. You could go to the college here right now.
Yeah.
Get a girlfriend. She'd probably be Asian because you're Asian. Yeah. You'd have adorable fucking babies. Ugh.
Cute Asian baby.
Damn.
That's
And
all
they
I
be
want in
they
life,
they have
you
a
know?
slack.
That's all you want in life.
See, everybody's like, man, these people are being racist, and then Johnny's like, no, that's really all I want.
I mean, my brother was like wanted it even more and got a Asian girl pregnant first chance he got.
Oh.
Oh man, I thought they oh never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind. Hot fire. Wow. But yeah, we should talk about my cup. This cup.
Your cup.
This cup is fantastic. So this is the same cup that was on Craig Ferguson's Late Late Show. I love that show, and it's like my homage to him. But it's also a snake, and it's very Texasy. I jumped over a snake while running at Bryan Lake. It was
I really
kinda-
liked
it's
his
crazy.
Netflix special as well. I thought his Netflix.
Pull it up. No, I'm just joking. Don't pull it up. Not a sponsor.
It's a scary snake.
All my booze is gone, and yeah. On that might be a good note. We went for quite a while. We talked for about like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It's kind of crazy. What's the little time on there, say, Tane?
We're at 120 right now.
Yeah, that's a good little podcast right there.
What about nothing?
Yeah.
Brain trash.
Brain trash. No, so Kara, first of all, tell people how to pronounce your name properly.
Kara Klenk.
Mm-hmm. Like clink glasses, or clink like the
Like I've been to the clink.
yeah. And where can they find you on the interwebs?
They can find me on Instagram at Kara X Klink. That is my username thing. Instagram.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is called.
And Kara Klenk on the face space and all of that stuff if they need
Yeah.
to.
But
mostly
you know,
through Instagram. Instagram's the
Instagram.
best.
You know, the gram.
Everybody knows that Instagram is the best for the tattooing.
Yes.
Yeah, and then as far as that goes, yeah, she's now on the team, so look out for travel dates and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure will
Link
be coming
will
up.
be in the description
Yeah,
below.
yeah, there will be a link in the description. This does go out on YouTube. But thank you, Kara, for coming over and chatting.
Thanks for having me.
And Jimmy John's not a sponsor, but holler at
But
your
it
boy.
Freaky fast and freaky fresh.
Freaky fast and freaky fresh. Looking for that sponsorship, son.